Oh, hello, everybody. Welcome and welcome back. Today we have a Reddit story that starts off as a completely normal Disney World vacation and somehow turns into a full blown bladder based emergency. So, yeah, apparently, even the happiest place on earth is not safe from the human body betraying you at the worst possible moment. I peed myself at Disney World in front of my husband and his parents.
Like and subscribe, or I will tickle your pickle.
I, 27 female, was at Animal Kingdom with my husband, 27 male, and in-laws in their 50s. It was January. It was cold, and I was also just getting over a cold. We were having a great time, and one of the first rides we went on was Everest. It's a very fun roller coaster, but caused me to have a coughing fit afterwards because of the rush of cold air that went into my face on the ride. Okay, so immediately I feel like this is setting us up for a completely innocent Disney vacation, right? Cold weather, getting over a cold, coughing after a roller coaster. Nothing here is alarming yet. And honestly, going on Everest while you're recovering from a cold is already a choice. You're basically telling your respiratory system, hey, you have been through enough, let's add a roller coaster. But okay, she's coughing, fine. When we got off of the roller coaster, we were standing together. I was facing my husband and his parents were facing each other. While they were debating about where we were going to eat lunch, I was having a coughing fit. And I squatted down to get a cough drop and some tissues out of my backpack. That was where I messed up. I didn't realize I had to pee. And as I was coughing in the squatting position, I fully peed myself. I looked up at my husband and just mouthed, I just peed. He looked back at me with wide eyes and nodded. Oh no, not this silent marital communication. I just peed. And the husband is just like, wide eyes, nods, like they just witnessed a bank robbery. No questions, no words, just immediate understanding. And honestly, that's probably the best possible husband reaction because what the hell are you supposed to say? Like, are you sure, babe? No, bro, she's sure. She didn't come over and say, honey, I think I may have experienced a minor plumbing issue. She just said, I just peed. That nod is killing me, though, because you know both of them are desperately trying to pretend nothing happened while his parents are standing right there. Once I stood up, he suggested to his parents that we should find a bathroom, not mentioning what just happened, and we found one. Apparently, my bladder had completely emptied, and there was no toilet paper wrapping that I could do to save it. It was only 10 a.m. and I didn't want to be getting on rides where other people would sit, and also I didn't want to smell throughout the rest of the day. Yeah, no, at this point, there is no recovery strategy involving toilet paper. This isn't a little accident where you're like, okay, we're gonna fold some paper towels and pretend we're MacGyver. The bladder literally said, evacuate everything. And I actually respect her thought process here because she's thinking about the logistics. It's 10 in the morning. The day just barely started. Imagine having to spend the next 8 hours at Disney World sitting on rides while internally knowing you have created a biological crime scene. And the sentence, I didn't want to be getting on rides where other people would sit. Yeah, that's considerate. Because imagine being the next person on that ride. Ugh. Oh my god, you sit down, you don't know what happened. You're just like, wow, Disney really does provide immersive experiences. No, we are not leaving evidence at the Magic Kingdom. I come out of the bathroom, go up to my husband and say, I need new pants. He nodded, and we walked with his parents to where we were going to get lunch while my husband and I were looking for shops that would maybe have pants as we watched. When we got to the quick service location, I told his dad what I wanted to order and that I was going to run across the walkway to the store across the street. His dad, having no idea why I was going across the way to the store, joked, "Oh, okay, don't worry, I'll eat your food for you," in a dad way. I nervous laughed way too loud and walked away. Oh my God, I'll eat your food for you. And then she's standing there like, meanwhile, internally, I have peed myself and am currently on a clothing acquisition mission. That nervous laugh is so real. Oh my God. You know that laugh, right? The laugh where you're technically responding to a joke, but you're also desperately trying to escape the conversation before your face gives away the fact that your life is currently falling apart. And the dad has absolutely no idea. He's just being a dad. Oh my God, don't worry, I'll eat your food. Meanwhile, she's like, haha, yeah, please don't investigate my pants, please. This is one of those situations where the funniest part is that literally nobody else knows what's happening. Her husband knows, for sure. Yeah, she knows, of course. And the in-laws are just existing. I walked into the store and it's one of the biggest ones in the park, luckily. I find some sweatpants which would be comfy, but I didn't want to be wearing sweatpants around Disney World all day. And we had a nice dinner reservation at the end of the night. I keep walking and find an athletic skirt that is perfect because it has spandex underneath. Okay, so we have officially entered the emergency Disney shopping arc, and honestly, choosing the skirt over the sweatpants because she has a nice dinner reservation later is dedication. Most people in this situation would be like, fuck the outfit, give me the pants, but she is like, no. We have a reservation. There are standards. There are social obligations. There is a Disney dinner to attend. The bladder may have won round one, but it is not winning the outfit battle. As I find this cart, my husband calls me and said that he followed me into the store to help, but I was too fast. He told me he found the sweatpants and I told him I appreciate it, but I found this cart, and he waited for me at the exit of the store so he could show me where his parents were with lunch. I actually love this husband. This man immediately understood the assignment. She disappears. He doesn't interrogate her. He doesn't make it weird. He just goes, okay, we're getting pants. And then apparently he follows her into the store like a man on a rescue mission. Meanwhile, she has already completed the operation. Don't worry, soldier, I've acquired this card. We were eating at some outdoor tables, and why I didn't change before I don't know. I think I didn't want to take up too much time in the store and be suspicious, even though I knew that they would figure out what happened later in the day at least. Wait, why did she think changing clothes would be suspicious, but throwing away the clothes later wouldn't be suspicious? Because if I see somebody walk into a store wearing one outfit and come back wearing completely different clothes, I'm not necessarily thinking anything. But if you're like, oh, these pants? Gone. That's when the family starts putting together the cinematic universe. And I get it, though, in the moment you're not thinking logically, you're in panic mode, of course. Your brain isn't operating on normal social rules anymore. Your brain is just going, get new clothes, don't look weird, don't die. Meanwhile, literally everyone around you is just trying to eat lunch. We saw and ate lunch like normal and told them that I was going to run to the bathroom before we went to the next attraction. My husband walks with me to the bathroom and I go in and change. I have the plastic bag that my skirt came in when I bought it that I could have wrapped my underwear and leggings in. Okay, so we're finally doing the clothing change. And honestly, shout out to the plastic shopping bag. That unsung hero of this entire story. Bruh. That little bag came into Disney World expecting to carry a news cart. It left knowing things no shopping bag should ever know. However, it was very early in the day and I didn't want to be carrying them in my small backpack all day. I made the decision to toss the underwear and leggings, although they were very comfortable leggings. No, not the comfortable leggings. That's the real tragedy. Forget the underwear. Those leggings had a feature. They were comfortable. They had served faithfully. And now they're sitting in a Disney trash can like, what did I do to deserve this? Honestly, that's the saddest part of this entire story. You can replace underwear, but finding leggings that are actually comfortable, that's a spiritual journey. Oh my god. You don't just stumble upon those. I come out and my husband said, "The skirt looks nice. Do you feel better?" And I said, "Yes, I feel so much better." That is actually so sweet because the husband could have made the whole thing way more embarrassing. Instead, he's just like, "The skirt looks nice. Do you feel better?" Sir, you have passed the husband exam because that's exactly what you need after something humiliating happens. Not a 5-minute speech, not jokes, just you okay? Yeah. Cool, let's go enjoy Disney World. That's a very good partner. We continue on our day, and eventually my husband asked, "So, do you have your pants in your bag?" And I said, "Oh no, honey, I threw those away." There was no saving them, and we had a good laugh. Bruh, the casualness of, "Oh no, honey, I threw those away," like we're discussing groceries or something. Did you bring the pants? No. Why? Because they have passed beyond this mortal realm. And honestly, at this point, you've just gotta laugh. Because what else are you gonna do anyway? You're at Disney World, you have a news card, your pants are dead, like dead. The comfortable leggings are dead. The family is slowly discovering the truth, but the vacation continues. After I changed, his parents put two into together and realized what had happened. We continued to have a great day at the park and a great dinner that night. We all now laugh about this story together. I feel like this is actually a really wholesome ending because I was expecting this to turn into some horrible in law embarrassment story where somebody makes fun of her for the rest of the vacation. But no, everybody figured it out, nobody made it into a huge deal, and now they all laugh about it. And that's probably the best possible outcome. Because, let's be honest, embarrassing things are always way worse when they're happening than when you look back on them. In the moment, you're like, my life is over. 6 months later, you're telling the story at dinner like it's a stand up routine. The funniest part is that the actual Disney trip wasn't ruined. She got new clothes, they ate lunch, went on attractions, had dinner, and apparently had a great day. So, really, the lesson here is that sometimes your body will absolutely betray you in public, and unfortunately, you just have to adapt. Also, maybe don't underestimate what a coughing fit can do to your bladder. Because apparently you can go from "Yay, Everest" to "Sir, I require emergency pants, please," in about 30 seconds. And shout out to the husband because he handled this entire situation like a professional. No humiliation, no making her feel disgusting, just immediate damage control. Let's find a bathroom. Let's find pants. This skirt looks nice. That's it. Meanwhile, the dad is standing there like, "I'll eat your food for you," completely unaware that his daughter-in-law is fighting for her life in the Disney World clothing department. That poor man accidentally delivered the funniest possible line at the worst possible moment. Anyway, I think this is one of those stories where you genuinely can't even be mad. It's embarrassing, absolutely. But nobody got hurt, nobody was cruel about it, and now the whole family has a ridiculous Disney story they'll probably be telling for the next 20 years. And honestly, though, if you're going to have an embarrassing accident, having it become a funny family story instead of a traumatic memory is probably the best case scenario. Although, I do have one question. Why? Did the leggings have to die? Those were innocent. Rest in peace, comfortable Disney leggings. You deserved better. Anyway, if you guys were in this situation, would you immediately tell the entire family what happened? Or would you also just silently disappear into a Disney store and return wearing a completely different outfit like nothing happened? Because personally, I think I would be doing the exact same thing. Pretend nothing happened, acquire new pants, continue vacation, never speak of the incident until approximately 5 years later when somebody brings it up at Thanksgiving. And that is how you survive Disney World. Okay, so that's it for me today, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.